Hey, welcome to the Fridays on Excellence show, where we dig into 6 areas of life and see what we can find to become more excellent. My name is Scott Kokenauer, and I'm your host. So glad that you have taken time out to tune in. Now, what I love doing the most on the show is interviewing subject matter experts. Unfortunately, today, the guest I had scheduled, it turned out she couldn't join us today, but she's going to in the near future. Her name is Kim Niles, and she is an incredible resource if you're dealing with any emotional challenges, especially grief. You're going to find her at griefbites.com, where she shares her insights based on real life experiences. And I strongly encourage you to check it out. That's griefbites.com. Now I'm going to share some of the thoughts she sent me ahead of time for today's show in a few minutes. But before we go any further, let's cover the 3 questions. All right. So the first question is, what do you do when you get really angry? The second question, what do you do when you grieve? Kind of step outside of yourself and think back to the last time you were really grieving. What did you see yourself do? And third, what does your support network look like? What does your support network look like? Now, as always, these questions are not to be answered right away. They're to be mulled over. Um, they they are designed to help you think through what's really going on around you. So try writing one or more of them down on a 3x5 card or a post-it note and keep them by your laptop screen or your bathroom mirror or anywhere you will see them repeatedly over the next 7 days. The 3 questions are for helping you become more reflective in your life. A reflective life is a much greater life, much more fully experienced. Now, as you might be able to tell, the area we will dig into today is emotional excellence. So let's go to the 2 pillars of excellence. All right. Now, according to Kim Niles, emotional health is one of the most important aspects of wellness, second only to spiritual health. So many facets of life depend on emotional wellness. Your relationships with God, your spouse, children, your relationship with your family, your friendships, your church relationships, your work relationships, all of these depend on your emotional wellness as well. And it's vital to be continually developing emotional wellness, continually strengthening ourselves in this area, and more importantly, allowing God to work on you in this area as well. So, our first pillar is simply continually develop. Never think that you will ever arrive, but there's always something you can develop. Now, when we talk about continually developing, I believe it requires the ability to adjust to the situations that happen. When you disappoint or anger someone else, your emotional excellence means you will be able to bounce back in a healthy way without losing your perspective. Now, to help illustrate this first pillar and to illustrate an emotionally excellent perspective, I've asked a movie star and theologian to weigh in. His name is Olaf, and you may remember him in the Frozen movies. Oh, and by the way, if you're listening to the podcast of this episode, I've placed a link in the video description. Let's watch. So you can see it's all in how we frame the situation, right? Olaf is one of my favorite characters, and if it weren't for my granddaughter Jolie, I never would have been introduced to him. But he's become a good friend. A lot of great stuff comes out of some of the most simple illustrations. But seriously, when grief, hardships, or life challenges hit, it's our emotional relationship with God and with family, as well as our emotional wellness and our emotional intelligence and personal character that will help us through the tough times. And aren't we all going through tough times today? Again, according to Kim Niles, the better the development of these areas, the better we will be able to face and walk through our grief and the challenges that we go through in life. So it's vital to continually strengthen our emotional wellness, our character, and relationships that God has blessed us with. So the next pillar is has to do with the physical aspect of emotions. As Kim writes, physical wellness also plays a part in our emotional wellness. So our second pillar is physical health breeds emotional health. Getting enough sleep at night, proper exercise, and eating right, these can all impact our emotional wellness. So it's wise to also consider how our physical health can affect our emotional health as well. Self discipline. This is where self discipline fits in. It's also very important. Now, consider a suggestion that Kim shares with us. This is what she does. She personally rates each involvement of her life, whether it's watching TV or a movie, who she spends time with, and what news material she'll potentially read or watch. And she asks herself this key question: does this register at a level of at least 75 to 80% of importance and edification? If it doesn't, she won't waste her time on it. And this, she says, helps her stay focused on who and what truly matters and guards her emotional wellness. So much of life is filtered through emotions. I mean, we watch the news through our emotions. We have conversations through our emotions. We tick off all of the to-do list items on our to-do list through our emotions. And especially if others depend on us for emotional strength and encouragement. Now, with that reality in the front of our minds, let's look at the takeaway for today. The takeaway is to mirror what Kim says she does for every involvement that she's about to get involved in. And I think it's fascinating. It's fantastic. Whether it's watching TV or a movie, who you spend time with, and what news material you'll potentially read or watch, ask yourself, does this register at a level of at least 75 to 80% of importance and edification? If it doesn't, don't waste your time on it. What this does is it helps you stay focused on who and what truly matters, and it will guard your emotional wellness. So rate every involvement for its importance and its edification. You may have heard the phrase garbage in, garbage out. What we fill our minds with is what we become. Your emotions can be greatly influenced by what is not healthy. And so You've got to be careful about what you let in and what you involve yourself in. So that's very important. So, short show today. As you go from here, take the 3 questions, the 2 pillars, and the 1 takeaway. And I hope you have an excellent week ahead. I'll see you next week on the next live program. Bye, everybody.